Hi everyone, just want to welcome everybody back for the latest On the Court webinar series episode. Today we're going to have Enrique presenting proactive defending. Those of you who don't know Enrique, he's current manager of Oxford City Futsal. He has been for the last 10 years nearly now. They won the FA Cup and the league title a few seasons ago. So he's a very experienced guy within the futsal community, not just within the UK but abroad as well. And I say you could probably say that his teams have a very good identity of what they try and do on the ball, but most importantly, what they try and do off the ball as well. So that's basically more or less what today's episode is going to be around, and you really using those pressing techniques and how he sort of implements them within his teams. So as I say, I've worked under him before, and I'm sure everybody here will learn a lot today. But I'm really excited, so I'll hand over to Enrique and he'll go from there.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you're all well. Today, the first thing I want to say is that whatever we're going to cover today, you all know. I'm not going to go through anything that you didn't see before, or you don't come across before, or you don't know. But just want to share the way we do it in Oxford and the way they've been doing it for years. Obviously, with some changes that we do try to implement every year, but hopefully you learn something. And any questions you have, please don't be scared to ask. Okay. So that's the model that we use. And that's the model for players, for the team, and for the coaches or managers that we have from the club. And we use the same system. It's all based on tactical, technical, physical, psychological, creativity, and social. Today, what we're going to cover is the tactical. We're going to cover the part of the defense, what we do in the way we're doing it, and we're going to explain more or less how it works. Obviously, from that, you can go to the technical, to the individual defending. You will need to go to the physical, what you need to cover all what we need, social, physiological, psychological, and creativity as well, which there's not much creativity when we defend. It's all about following the plan, and that's more when we attack, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so the types of defense that we use, or that we try to use, is the proactive one. And proactive one normally is in 3/4 of full press. When I mean full press, we never go man to man. On very rare occasion, we go man to man. Mostly because when you go man to man, you just follow what the player is doing. So you just follow your marker, and we try not to do that. Normally, what you're gonna see is a 2-1-1 or 1-2-1, and normally what we do is we mirror the opposition, and normally it's these two that we use more. Sometimes we are reactive, no much. Is when you sit on half court or 15 meters, and there is a 2-2 or 1-2-1. We'll see videos later that will explain more or less what we're doing. We can be preventive. That's in special occasions, and that's when we're sitting 5 meters, 1-1 or 2-2, and that's on the special situation. That's when you defend a 5-4, or you defend a 5-3 or 4-3. Basically, is that. And now we go to proactive defending. Well, what I want to explain now is what we use proactive defending. The way I explain to my players or any coach that work with us is for me, the game is about space and time. If I give a space and time to any player, anybody can play. Anybody will be a good player. You give a space and you give time, and they'll be good players. So we have to come up with a system that we're gonna deny that space and time to any player, no matter if they're good, they're bad. We need to stop the space and time, and that's what we use in the proactive defending. That's the main reason. One of the other reasons that we use that is because we are more organized. If we win the ball, we are ready to attack. We are organized to attack. So we're easy the counter-attack. And if we lose the ball, if we get beaten, we can always have time to recover. So that's the main reasons that we use in this system. The first thing that we work is how high we're gonna set and the lines that we're gonna use. As I mentioned before, normally is the high of the line is always with the third attacker. So if you think where the third attacker is sitting on the court, my first defender is sitting on that line. And my first line, it can be one. If it's 1-2-1, it'll be one person. If it's 2-1-1, it'll be two. Okay, and from there we'll go to press. And when we go to press, for us, pressing is just not go and press. For us, the first thing is when we set press, my players need to know, actually they know more or less, is that they need to cover the middle. That's the first thing. Stop the ball going through the middle, and then try to stop the ball in the air. When we stop the ball on the middle, the ball in the air, we said the ball is pressed for us. And then obviously they can play back, they can play on the side. But when it's pressed for us, stop the ball going through the middle on the floor and stop the high ball. Then the ball is pressed for us. Obviously, then we come with distance. We can set the intimate distance, they call it in Spain, when you actually can touch your attacker. And so if we pressing really well, we get to that intimate distance that we'll talk later, and that's what press for us. Then it's a big part of the press is when the first defender go and press, he needs to know that his players supporting him. And supporting is really what we actually win the ball for us. So we create a system that the man who press, main priority is not to go and win that ball, it's just to make it difficult for the second line to go and steal that ball. So when we're talking about support, we're talking about the player who works in anticipation, intercept the ball, or he goes on the covering lines of passing and basically make the jump when they need to make. Big part for us is the communication as well. Communication needs to be clear, it needs to be fast, it needs to be loud, and it needs to be effective. So we need to be very clear of what we're going to tell the player in front of us. And we'll have some games that we'll show you in the end how we work with that. But also, is the main thing for me is the team who is loud, who speak on the court, is defending with 6 players. That's what they always been telling me, and I always learn that. And if you think about a team that communicate on the court and they are loud and they start talking to each other, it looks like defending with 6. It's a big advantage, and it's a big part on our defending. And the other thing is the attitude. The attitude is what it drives everything for us. I mean, if we have players with good technique, physical, really strong, and tactical, very knowledgeable, they know everything what they do. If they don't have the right attitude, is the other 3 doesn't count. So attitude for us is really good. It needs to be really good, and we'll show you videos that it shows that attitude as well. Inside that, we do recovery runs. Obviously, this is not a magic formula that every time you play like this, you're going to win the ball. Sometimes, a lot of times, you get beaten when you're playing against strong teams. Chances are that you're gonna get beaten. So we work with recovery runs. I always want my team, as soon as we lose possession or they take us, we need to go behind the line of the ball. I want everyone behind the ball. Obviously, the recovery runs change. It's not the same to recover when you are high up on the pitch, on the court, than when you are halfway. So Normally, if he's high up on the pitch, the recovery runs, they will be in two positions, just behind the line of the ball. If he's on halfway at 15 meters, it might be you recover and go man to man. It depends of that as well. We'll see videos. We'll see that as well. Defending set pieces will do the same. Will be proactive, and we have triggers to make this approach. So even though we defend to win that ball. We do the same when we defend in 5v4 or 4v3. So we are very proactive. We don't sit and let the other team play the part. So we always try to put pressure and win the ball. Normally we count 3 passes and we put pressure on the wins. And blocks. The blocks for us is really important, as you see more and more teams using that tactic where they come and block. For us, when they block, you stay with your block. The player who's going to block, you stay with him, and the other player go and get the man with the ball. That's easy to say, but for me, that's something that the whole team needs to know, and the whole team needs to do the same. So if we make a mistake, at least we make a mistake, but everybody doing the same thing. When we say we block, what we work most with the players is the arms and leg always needs to stop the player that blocking you. Basically, it's more like you blocking him more than he's blocking you. So it's never block and continue. We'll stop always that. Now we're gonna see some videos, and this is all videos that we have, and that you'll see what we talk about it. Okay, if you see that video, the first thing that we notice in there, we press the ball. We don't let him think, we don't give him a space, we don't give him time, and we press the ball. Okay, second thing, our thing with us is we stop the ball on the middle. We're not close now, but the first priority is to stop the middle. This player is doing it. This player is support, is gonna move here now, in this area. We're gonna see, so it will move in this area. Okay, see, behind that line of the ball. Now this place is protecting the middle. This place is protecting that line there. We have that player who's supporting here. Okay, ball player. We ignore this player, we ignore this player, we ignore the other player here. We defend the ball. We obviously that player is a danger, but this player is already moving in this area. Goalkeeper is protecting that area, but this is not a danger. Obviously, this is Stuart Cook, so it'll be a danger wherever he is. But we defend the ball. Okay, next thing you'll see here in the picture, you can see 2 and 2. So that's the square, that's 2v2. Let you see the video. Okay, on the video, we can see now that player, this is Stuart Cook, cannot go straight away there. So the first thing that he does, position, stop the ball on the middle and get as close as he can, but slowly. He doesn't need to go and jump there, because knowing him, he will take him. So stop the middle. This player is supporting there, so no balls are gonna be there. Okay. Now, the ball come across, notice that player going there. So same thing, protect the middle. This player is supporting, so this player here is not an option. Ball in the air, this player will be dealing with that. This ball here, where is not a danger. If they pass the ball there, thank you. We don't need to go there. But well, whatever we do, this player cannot go in the middle. The reason for that, for me, if he goes on the middle, then he got a shooting opportunity. he got that player there, and he got this player here. So now he become two options. If we're stopping there, the ball can go back to Stuart. That's no problem. He cannot go there, and if he goes this side here, we got a player there. We'll see what happens. Okay, this player, totally ignore this player. That's okay. His mission now is we defend the ball. We don't care about that player. We don't care about that player. We don't care about that player. We defend the ball. Ball on the middle. So stop the middle. Let him go there. This player is ready. He knows. This player is ready to stop any balls here. Now this player is going to move to this area, and you'll see what the goalkeeper is doing. Okay, goalkeeper protecting that ball, but look where his hand with the other defender. This player here, now between these two, and we stop them. Now, let's see when it doesn't work well. Okay, that's the first movement. Go there. The first thing is these two, they are open. So this middle is open. That goalkeeper could easily pass that ball there. So that's the first mistake that we make. Second mistake, this player here, he tried to stop the line and not the middle. That's one thing. So this player now, he needs to move on the middle. This player here is already moving to support this player. Because this player is not stopping the middle, he's open the whole thing. We're positive, proactive, and we still win the ball there, but that's a mistake for us. That was a mistake. We let them play through the middle. If this player is quicker, stronger, can easily do 1-2 here, and this player is gone. And they created a problem. On the next video is the same thing. Goalkeeper gets the ball, don't jump, and we open the middle. Even though we won the ball in the end, it was a mistake for us. We didn't. The first thing is close the middle and then go. Okay, in this one, same. Okay, so in this one, stop. Now this player approach should be here. The middle is open. Is no danger at the moment because the yellows, they don't play with a player on them between the lines, so it's no problem. But this player is already moving here to support this player, but this player doesn't close the middle. So look what happened, and look this number 11. See? Sorry. Sorry, guys. Look, that's the same player. Okay, same player. Same thing. Now, different player pressing. Now, close the middle. This player stay there on the middle, supporting. This player is in front. And this player is going to move to support. See? Player stop the ball on the middle. He's no danger now. He's no danger. It's no high ball in here. And even if he moves a little bit, a high ball there, keeper can deal with that. So it's not a problem now. The only thing he can do now is pass, play that ball there, that parallel here, which we got covered, but nothing else they can do. And this is only come because this player now is stopping the ball in the middle. Go, and we win the ball game. Okay, so that's more or less the setup which we got. They go there, the high of these players with the third attacker. So this is the third attacker, this is my high. The reason for that If we come here, this player comes here, this player comes here, one ball over the top, this player runs, and these three players, they need to start doing recovery runs. So we all drop until the third attacker. We allow the first pass stop in the middle. And when we pass the first ball, then when we start moving. It can be a 2-1-1, and it's the same we mirror. When we said we mirror the opposition, is they have 2, we put 2. When they have 3, when they have 3, 1, 2, 3, we put 3. 1, 1, 1, 3. Okay. In all the things, we always defend the pivot in front. Always we have the fix in front of the pivot. So goalkeeper, between the goalkeeper and the fix, they defend the pivot. Same here, do the same thing, and it's now 2v1. Okay, and inside that we have the roles and the responsibilities, which are really easy. You saw in the video. We protect the middle. I know, for instance, Baku, when Chema Jimenez was here, and they won all the leagues, cup, and they done really well on UEFA. It was the other way around. It was protecting the lines, and it worked really well for him. And you all know Baku, how well they done. That's really good for him, but that's not what we do. And there, so my team knows that we defend the middle. We press the ball. We always press the ball. And then we work on communication. We need to be a team that it talks, and the support, which is really important. So that's the main thing that my players need to know when they come and play with me. So they come and play for us, for City, they know that's what they're going to have, and that's what they need to know. Okay, so when we go to roles and responsibility, every player, but the player who defends the ball, got 2 or 3 jobs. Now, if he receives the ball here, I'm going to move, protect the middle. This player will protect the middle. Here, it will go close as he can. We'll see in the video now how we do it. Come close and say, this player, and this player, they all active. This player now is keeping an eye on this player, so he's supporting. So if this player get beaten, he's been taken by this player will jump. If he comes from this side, this player will jump, and he will need to recover. And then with opposite win, so if this player receives the ball and the ball go here, then this player go and press, this player will support, and this player ignore that player, he comes all the way here. So it's the third man, and they will be the third man. So, and that's what we call opposite wins come and support. Okay, and then the fix, he defends this line. Anything comes in the air, he needs to defend that. Goalkeeper.
Just not the little not plastic, the rubber.
Sorry. Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper will defend all the space behind the fix. So if the fix move here, goalkeeper will need to defend 20 meters. And so that's why it's important that goalkeeper doesn't stay on his line. He's always out defending that. Now, this setup in my chance. So if I play in a short court and this goalkeeper have a distribution that is sent a ball straight here, not talking a balloon that goes all the way in the air, and even my grandmother can read that and get it. I'm talking about proper delivery from the goalkeeper and a short court, then we chance. Then this player needs to drop and work more hard, because I will not ask the goalkeeper to go and deal with that. It'll be impossible for the goalkeeper in a short court with a good distribution from the keeper. So then we need to adapt with that. And then I might actually ask the first line of defense to drop and allow the first pass there. So we depend on the scouting, depend what we see the team we're gonna play. So that's a few things that we change. The other thing that we do, we always try to have 4 lines. So this one will make 1 line, these 2 they will make the second line, Fix do the 3rd line, and then obviously the goalkeeper make the 4th line. So we always try to have 4 lines. The 4 lines, they need to be closer together, so there's no space to play between the lines. Now, this is a video of this season when we go and play Joe. This is a video summarize for me what we've been doing as a team. Now, the scenario here is that we go play against York, 4 hours traveling from Oxford. York is unbeaten, didn't lose a game, top of the league, and we go and play there. This is on the first 5 minutes. We're 1-0. We just score a goal. We just score a goal, and they take him. Okay. First thing is the approach of the player. He cannot jump from. Let me show you the video, and then we'll go for one. Okay, let's go and explain the video. First thing, the ball move, look the approach. This is easily 12, 13 meters. He cannot go straight away and jump to this player. But his caution is moving forward. As he moves forward, you notice here 1 yellow player coming, 1 yellow player coming to support, so he's not going by himself. See, that player. He couldn't get any closer, but his first job stopped the middle. I will say he did. So well done. It was the high ball it was on, but still got a fix there and a goalkeeper. He could deal with that. A ball moved to the side. Now approach of the player to stop the middle. Got close, stop the middle. He's gonna get closer. But look this player now. Now when we talk about attitude and defending, that's his player here, but now he's supporting. He changed his role. Now he's supporting. Now he's keep an eye on that player, supporting that player. No ball can go between these two. Okay, we'll see. Okay, pressure on the ball now. It's no long ball, it's no ball on the middle now. And that's one of the important things. As that ball is moving, that player is moving. And then we travel when the ball is traveling. See now? Go. There. Pressure. Now, what's the other thing? We don't follow the cut. This player cut in front of the player, I don't follow him. This is not my problem. So number 9, Julio, is not gonna follow number 10. He's gonna support this player. This player can go wherever he wants. It's not our problem. We defend the ball. Okay, so it's not a problem. It wasn't close enough to steal that ball, but we're still moving. Notice where we start here, halfway line. Notice where we are now, and we still didn't touch the ball yet. Go, press. Now, pressing. Now this player doesn't follow that player either. We don't care, we don't follow the player. We got a player here, which is protecting all this line here. And now look what happened. Now look, the only option of this player now can go long. This player is not a problem. Even if the ball go there, we have a fixed player here. And that ball, if it goes to this player, we got a player here to do the same job. Look what happened. And now talking about attitude, we are defending, we go there, press, moving, look this player. The first movement, just go forward, we're gonna score, movement, still running forward, this player is coming to support, give me the ball and I shoot. No, because this player is already closing. Look his movement now. Straight away, pass, and go. That's exactly what we're doing in there. That's how we've been working with the guys, and that's how we defend. So key things is we don't follow the players, we don't follow the cut. Obviously, we're talking about when the ball is pressed. It's in a few occasions that we need to follow the cut, but as a normal rule for the team, we don't do that. When the other thing that we have, obviously, all this is when we are organized, when we have 4 players behind the ball and we're organized. The problem comes when we are disorganized, when we get beaten, when in few occasions one player got a knock, one player is lazy, doesn't want to come back, many reasons, we are not organized. So then, closest player press the ball. If we cannot press the ball, we all drop 2 positions and then we start defending. So everybody behind that line of the ball, and then we start defending. We close passing lines and we control the space. The dominance of the space, to do that, let me go back to this video and I'm going to show you what we mean right now. Okay, in here. Sorry. Okay, in here. Now, if this player with the first touch, when he receives the ball, is more aggressive, his body position is it turned just 45 degrees facing our goal, we are in problem. Because this player now, he doesn't dominate this space. If the first touch of this player is forward, now this player is running back. So instead of pressing here, we'll be dropping. Now, against, don't want to say, but against a top player here, we'll be suffering. Okay. First touch, you notice the first touch and his body position, he couldn't play forward. But against a top team, we didn't dominate that space. So we always ask our players to dominate the space. Okay, so that's what I mean when I said control the space. One thing that we talk, and we actually I couldn't find the terminology right. We call lateralidad, laterality, and that's the word I find in England. Laterality is basically when a defender can defend with both legs. He can tackle with the left, he can tackle with the right. We noticed that some of the players are struggling to do that. They always want to tackle with the stronger leg. So that's one of the things that we work with our players to make sure that they can tackle with both legs. And this is a video, and we'll show you. This is when we play Baku. Baku defend really well. We struggle against them. They did what we're actually doing. They did it to us. So I'll show you, and it's a few moments that we'll stop and we'll show you the jump. Sorry. Okay. A direct jump that we work and we do is when this player passes the ball to his keeper and we jump, then we ask number 9 to go and press that ball. Now, we ask that will be a direct jump. We ask him to go and press that ball if he, obviously this keeper is sit down. So before the game we talk, and our plan was not to make that jump unless we're in 5-6 meters. Because this goalkeeper is extremely good with his ball on his feet. So we said, don't jump, will not go and press the goalkeeper. So that will be a direct jump. If this player here if this player, this is right-footed player, but if this player is left-footed, this player can make the jump to his foot and stop that pass there and make him play on his right. That will be an indirect jump, which we tell them not to do it either. So that's what we work with the jumps. Okay, so that's when we said jump, salta, which we call it in Spain, is when we do that. That can be to the goalkeeper, that can be to a player. Okay. Okay, notice now the setup of Baku. They go straight to 1-2-1, and notice how they don't follow the cat either. They run really well. So there you go. Stop the middle. Stop. Don't follow the cat and go there, and you start creating time. This is what's in the first 5 minutes. See, no jump to the keeper, which if we play, depends who we play, we'll make the jump. We basically will play and stop the keeper playing. Sorry. Okay, in here we're disorganized. Not where disorganized is no pressure on the ball. That player is free. Goalkeeper is option. This player is moving. We're in bad position. So what we do is we drop. We don't need to press. We need to drop and organize ourselves. And it takes us a few seconds. Go, go. Now we're organized. Now we can go. Now we can go. Okay. That's what we talk about being disorganized, which happens. Now, that's one of the sessions that we use to work on communication, and it's a simple game. It's 5v5, so you can see yellows against blues. The blues have two defenders outside, and the yellows have two defenders outside. So basically, I let them play, and on my command, and I said out, the player pressing the ball. So if this player receives the ball, I let them play a few passes. When I said out, the player pressing the ball needs to get out, and this player is coming in here. Still for 5v5, and now the main player pressing the ball is out. So we're working. Are we gonna react? What he's gonna do? What he's gonna do? And what he's gonna do? Ideally, closest man. Ideally, we go back to basics. So closest man needs to put pressure. If we cannot put pressure, we need to drop. This player now, obviously, it will need to move forward. It will be the third man. And this player now, as he's moving, it will be shouting, moving this player, and this player will be moving here, talking with these two. And obviously, the goalkeeper will see everything, and he'll be talking. So we play this game, and we let them play and see we correct whatever we need to correct, and hopefully that's one of the games that we use to make sure that they start talking, at least start talking and moving there. I don't care too much if they, obviously what happens is when they get the ball, he creates a counter-attack straight away, which is okay. We see how this player is going to delay and what he's going to do and how we're going to do the recovery runs, which is fine. But it's more the reaction of what we're doing when we are disorganized. This is one of the sessions that we use. We have 3 teams, yellow team here, and blue team and green team here. Goalkeeper start with the ball. Is no corners, no kick-ins. All the ball always start with the keeper, always short. So they play the ball to the yellows here, and the blues what they trying to do is stop the yellows to pass in the halfway line. If they pass the halfway line, then they're out of the game. They sit here, and then the yellows they try to score against the greens. If the greens win the ball, they attack the blues. If the yellows score, then the yellows they sit here and they stop the greens getting out of the half. And you got that constant attacking, pressing, defending all the time. Okay, and that's all. If you have any questions or anything, I'm here to help you.
Thanks a lot, Enrique. I say really interesting. As I say, from somebody who has a similar philosophy off the ball, so I can only respect what you did, and from playing under you as well. I'd say it's probably a massive influence into what not only myself, but I'd say my brother as well, and other players that have played under you who've gone on to coach have probably taken a similar structure defensively. So as I say, from having the experience there, it really works. And as I say, it probably showed when you guys won the league as well, when you were able to execute that plan with better players and say better physicality as well. There's a question from John Curran already here, but if anybody else has got a question, please feel free to ping it into the chat or raise your hand. So John's asked why is playing through the middle, high up the court in their half a problem for you and your philosophy? For example, if they play with a false pivot, do you want to show the line? I know you mentioned that Baku did something which was the opposite, which was cutting off the line and showing the middle. But do you want to explain why you do it the other way?
Basically, when a player goes to the middle, you open his possibilities. When a player gets the ball and goes to the middle, he can play left, he can play right, he can play forward, he can run and shoot, he can do everything. When a player runs on through the line, he can only go one way. He can only go forward or pass the ball inside. And we're strong inside, normally we steal the ball there. If the player play with fake pivot, what we do is because we always defend the pivot in front, it will need to go and receive the ball halfway line before, and he always be challenged by your defender. If you play against dominate pivot, the pivot is really strong and can create problems for you. If he receives the ball halfway line, very rare he's gonna turn around and he's gonna score a goal from there. So half of our job is move the pivot from his influential area to halfway line. So half of the job is done.
Very good. So there's another question here that says, any suggestions to adjust the second last session plan you discussed, communication, if they only had exactly 10 players? So I think you realize it's...
Yeah, Jens, you can move the goals required and just play 3v3. So it's always the same team, and then you move the intensity high, so every team have subs. So you will have 2 keepers. That will leave you with 8 players. You play 3v3, so every team got a sub.
Yeah, I'm guessing you could even do that with your other session plan as well, with the one where the player that's pressing the ball exchanges out. You could even do that with a 3v3 and just have one person off as well, rather than having the 4v4 and the player on the side. So as I said, there is opportunities there to change them. There's another comment here that says, appreciate this applies to adults or youth players from foundation phase and under 13s. How would you introduce these concepts, for example, into focusing on defending 1v1, pressing quickly, the correct body shape? I'd say that's probably an interesting one for you because you work with the Oxford, say now under 16s or under 17s. You've had them from under 11s age, so I'm sure that you've got a lot of points on that.
Yeah, that's basically one of the things that we changed our system this year is because I work with these under 16s now. So I've been working with them since they were under 10s. And we never did any system defending. We never did anything with them. It's just this year we start touching the systems with them. I only focus on 1v1s. So it's to me, it's no point to enter in any system if you don't work on your 1v1s. If and we talked before, if your defender he doesn't know how to defend with both legs, he doesn't know how to approach, how to stop the body position, you cannot start with system because this system is high risk, but you run. I guarantee you run less, and this is based on the first man pressing being a good defender. And when we talk about good defender, we talk about discipline, concentration, attitude, aggressive. It needs to be patient, laterality. It takes a lot of coordination with the team, so really it'll be really bad if you don't work on the 1v1 first. And then when we're ready with the 1v1s, you start with the systems. And my group, I've been working with them for years. And it's just now that we start with the system. And we're not going, some of them, they play on the first team now. And we cannot go to the 2-1-1 because they still don't get the third man. And we're still creating some problems there. So we need to go with the 1-2-1.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I think you mentioned it at the start, but I think for anybody that's pressing, I'd have to ask you the importance as well that you mentioned attitude, but the importance of physicality as well. When you're trying to get a team to press, and that the players need to be physically very, very well charged to be able to execute it correctly. So if you had, you've worked with a lot of different players and different fitness levels over the years, and you've probably seen, or how do you adjust your system really to introduce those players when they're on court, the ones that are less able to physically press like you want to? Do you play them as the third man or the fourth man, or how do you adjust that?
Well, the things that we do when we talk about the support, then this is players that if they start reading the eyes of the attacker on possession of the ball, they can actually anticipate and intercept the ball without getting into any physical challenge with your opponent.
Yeah.
And that's something that we try to work with them a lot. If I'm gonna play against Ricardinho and allow him to get the ball, and no chance I'm gonna stop him. But if I work and try to anticipate and try to intercept the ball before he receives the ball, I will have better chance than when he receives the ball. So physically, being physically strong is really important, especially in the modern game. But being clever, using your head is more important for me.
Yeah.
Still more important.
So there's a couple more questions here before we finish, which are: what are your thoughts on half-line pressing system if the team is not able to cope a high pressing system?
Okay, I have questions with that because I need to convince my players that if I play against Ricardinho is a number 10. He always is really good, extremely good. Now, if Ricardinho on his best day, his score is a 10, my job is to go, take him time and space, and drop his game to a 9. And if I can, a 8. That's my job. But what I'll guarantee you, if you see it and you let him time and you let him space, he's always going to be a 10. Any player, if you give him time and space, is going to be a 10. By the way, this is not me. This is something that I learned from Diego Gustosi, and he showed me that. So my job is to convince the players that just go and making half a bad game. Go and compete. And being competing is not go and win the game, not go and win the balls. Go and do your best to stop that players. And that's why it comes down to attitude and motivation. And we do a lot of them as well. So I obviously sometimes for matters of the game, you need to sit halfway and you're still pressing. If you have 5 faults, you're gonna need to sit. You're not gonna need to press. If you're playing in a Final Four and you need to play 2 games and you are winning already, you don't need to chase anymore. Just sit at the back and let them break you. So it's multiple times that you need to use the sitting halfway line, which is okay. But as a system, I try not to use it.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it at the start as well, which was if you commit a mistake pressing high up the court, you've still got a lot of time and space to recover. If you commit a mistake at the back, it's more than likely going to result in a goal or an opportunity for that team. I think that's a really good point that you made before as well. The final question I think from Louis is how much of your training week is spent on this?
Basically, I'm all about creativity. I'm all about players showing what they want to do when we get the ball. So, but that needs to be inside a certain routine that we use. So if we play the 4-0, we play the 3-1. If we play with the fake pivot, with the fixed pivot, it just depends. So that get covered on the warm up. And then big part of the training session is defending, and because that's the more difficult part. And that's the part that the creativity doesn't get that much room to play, if any. And so basically, if we train 2 or 3 times a week, big chunk of that is for defending. Obviously, different drills and normally with a game. So it's always good for the players to get involved.
Class. So I got one final question I think before we go, and that's something personal as well. Is on the front of, like you just mentioned there, with training and training the press, and I know you demand it of your players in training as well to press. Now, when you get to games, a lot of teams in this country, for example, in the UK, sit half court. Do you find that doesn't benefit your players attacking wise because they're used to playing under pressure in training, or do you sometimes make the defenders sit half court to emulate the opposition team that you're going to play against, given that so many sit half court?
Yeah, we got that's on the routine that we cover on the warm up. So basically, if we normally what we try to do, and this is giving you too much information, if we ever play against each other, if we play against a team that when we press, the 4 players they move and they move quick, then we sit. If we play against a team that when we sit, they move the ball really fast, then we go and press. So we try, yes, and answer to your question is yes, we try to sit and we go there. But what you need to think as well is that when you do a set piece, if you're going to take a corner, the moment you put the ball on the corner, you got 4 seconds. So you got 4 seconds to coordinate your 4 players and take that corner. If the team sit halfway and they give you already 20 meters and as many seconds as you want. So you can make a set piece inside the open play. So we work a lot with that as well. So when a team, and obviously that's in response of the amount of teams that are sitting and they're not pressing, and that works with from the under 16s to, well, we've been working with them all the time. So we got a lot of set pieces inside the open play to break down.
Perfect. Really appreciate it, Enrique. I say it's been really interesting. I'm sure everybody's learned a lot. I say it's probably one of the best ones that we've had so far. I just want to say thanks for everybody for listening. We'll be back on Friday and Saturday as well. So we'll have on Friday we'll have Sean Kitson, and then on Saturday we'll have Richard Ward, England international, and currently at Pro Futsal delivering false pivot work as well. But as I say, thanks a lot, Enrique, for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity, John.
No, really helpful. So hopefully we'll see each other soon. But thanks for everybody for joining, and hopefully see you again on Friday. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.